today we're here with Marcel East, one of our judges for our first ever virtual Get Launched Las Vegas series. And I am so happy that I get to ask you some questions today. So how are you doing, Marcel?
Doing amazing. It's a toasty day here in Vegas, but yeah, staying cool inside.
How long have you been in entertainment, and how did you get started?
Yeah, gosh, I've been singing, well, I've been performing for about 19 years now. I started with a band called the Stepping Stones. It's a band it's like a Motown band, and they were doing tours all over the country. They did some international tours, and my uncle ended up was working with them many years back, and well, generation later they're still touring. So once I got out of school, they gave me a call and invited me to come play with them, and I in a heartbeat said yes. So I started playing, just touring. I was playing keys at the time.
What are some of the highlights of your career? What were some things you enjoyed? What were some things that helped you learn the most?
Right. So some of the highlights were I booked a show not a whole show, a whole contract in Maldives. I performed in the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. So you see those overwater villas, crystal clear water, like hanging out with dolphins all the time. And I got to play over there for about 2 years. So I was doing that. That was one of my highlights. I also got to sing with Miss Barbara Streisand. She had a show in Las Vegas and she needed a choir. So I got to do that. And we sang for 20,000 people. Like every inch of where you could see was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, so those are a few of the things that stand out moments that I've had.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
When you were a child, what career did you envision yourself having? Did you always know that you were going to be in the performing arts, or did you imagine?
Yes, I loved music. I was in the choir, show choir back in school, and I loved music, but I didn't really know exactly what direction I was going to go. Originally, I went to school, into college for music production, and I was just going to be a studio guy. And then when I got able to play, that's when I was like, I want to be a live musician, and because it's fun, it's so much fun.
What advice would you give to a young aspiring singer, actor, or dancer who wants to go into the entertainment business?
So one of the things that helps me excel, in addition to just knowing people, is knowing how to put a good package together. I mean, it's musical, but it's more when you go to places and you talk to agencies or entertainment directors, they want to see what you have. So to have a library, like a nice video of you singing a bunch of songs, just so they can see, like, okay, here's the range. There be like all these fun songs, all these nice vocal things. So I think that's, aside from learning the craft, I think being able to put together a good package to show to people is gonna give you like a really good step, above somebody else who might not have that. Lots and lots and lots of material. I think that's the thing that I think once I learned to start doing that helped me get a lot better. Because before that, all it was like I'd know somebody and I'd be like, hey, do you know another guy? And then they'd call me and they'd be like, okay, so what do you got for me? And then I'm like, oh, nothing, but maybe you can come to a show when I sing next month or something. No, you want to have something that they can look at right then and there. And I think having the talent and knowing how to play and how to sing is important. That's going to keep you the gig. But one of the things that helps me, I think, is like learning that I need to take control of getting my promo, my press material together. Nobody's gonna do it for me. You gotta take it on yourself. That means calling the people, and if you call a band or you call somebody to make you background music, that's taking the initiative to do that is something that I think can help a lot of people.
And what are some challenges that you faced in chasing this career and in entertainment?
Gosh, so
to get around those if you end up bumping into them again?
Yeah, I'm really camera shy, and I'm really like self-conscious, and I'm always like, every time I see myself, I'm always judging and criticizing things that like maybe I looked the wrong way, or I made a weird face. And the thing that, one of the challenges for me was to accept who I was and to be able to be like vulnerable and still confident and just still get out there and push myself over that hump that I was on. Anytime I remember being on stage, and anytime I see somebody with like the right light on, or I knew someone was recording, I instantly just mess up the whole song. And I'm like, and it was a huge crutch. And I mean, it terrified me because I was already worried about messing up. So seeing that hurt me a lot, and it made me like self-sabotage. So one of the things that I have had to do was just accept it. That's part of the thing. People are going to record you. So doing that and then starting to get more comfortable with it, and that's one of my challenges that I've had to overcome.
Part of being an adolescent is dealing with fluctuations in confidence. So right. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling with their self-confidence, with their self-image, with how they view themselves and where they think they can go?
Yeah, that's, it's tough because there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of people out there, and society has an expectation for what you are supposed to be. And I think it's misguiding a lot of people, because that's not true. What people want and what people really gravitate towards are people that are vulnerable, the people that are afraid of something and they do have something to overcome. And people root for them, and they give them the most support and the most love that they can. So it's a tough thing, but you need to accept yourself and appreciate yourself and appreciate what you have to give to the world, because that's something that only you can do. Everybody can sing their favorite song, but it's like only you can sing it the way you do. So give that to everybody. I really feel passionate about that. So
knowing you can get past that, it's very inspiring. What do you love most about performing?
Okay. So it's like, as a musician, as a performer, you have the responsibility of like dictating everybody's evening or day or whatever it is. Maybe even longer. Like I'll have people message me months later, years later, about a performance I did. The thing that I love the most about performing is giving somebody an experience that they've never had, or like just changing their state. People can be anywhere at any time, and if you get them, and if you grab them, and if you hold them there and you give them something, that's the most exciting thing, because you're in charge of that. And I love giving that to people, because it's a great like reward for me to be able to do that.
How has music helped you to find out who you are and find out how you can contribute to the world?
It's interesting because like music is part of like who all of us are, and around the like singing songs and stuff all day, and the challenges that come with being a performer is it pushes you. It makes you push, because you have to rise to the occasion, and being able to like travel around the world, things that I never thought I'd be able to do, or go places that I never were able to go, and trusting the music and trusting myself has made me as a person now more confident that I could do more things. So the more that you actually do, the more you realize there's nothing that can stop you. But that's how it's changed me, because now I walk into a stage, I might not know any of the players, but since I've been able to do that, I can go and play with anybody, and then you take that off to like other things. Like say I have to move out unexpectedly, I know how I could, that I'm capable of doing things that I've never done before, because of music and the confidence that I've gotten from being able to perform and see myself do things I've never done.
Sounds very exciting being an entertainer and all that. what would you say to someone who's maybe questioning that this is the right career path for them, or questioning if they would be able to deal with all these changes, like you said, suddenly moving out or
right. That's happened before. If you're unsure of it, that's being honest with yourself, and that's healthy. You need to understand how you're feeling about certain things, but what you also need to do, if you love it, you need to go for it, because I don't know of many things that are as rewarding as singing your favorite song and having everybody else appreciate the performance you've given. And I think go for it. Talk to everybody that you can. Like show everybody yourself, your videos of you singing.
You seem like you have so much wisdom that you gathered over all of the years of your performing career and of your career in entertaining. So if you knew some of these things that you knew now back then, what would you do differently? How would it shape your career differently? Would you encounter less trials, or would you not learn as much? Like, what would you
I would definitely, you know, honestly, I brushed over it a little earlier. Honestly, I would take more initiative for the gigs and the shows that I wanted. There's a lot of times where I just took anything and I would just wait for people to call me. But I think what I would do is I would put together a great package of videos and clips and everything, and I would give that to everybody, and I would call people. I would hear no, but I would call the next person and keep, you know, and also, you know, market yourself. I would do that a lot more, and that would change a lot of things.
Awesome. Getting things instead of just waiting for them to come to you.
Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Take control of them and get them yourself.
I'm sure we're all interested to know. So you are participating as a judge in our launch series. So what are you looking for when you're judging the top 20 contestants?
What would make the most impact to me is when I feel somebody's performance. You know, there's so many amazing singers and people that can sing, do cartwheels over any notes that I can sing. But I think the most important thing that I look for is sincerity and people that actually care about whatever the song means to them. It could be a happy song, it could be a sad song, but if you feel it and you can convey that, you know, that's gonna change me all over. So yeah, being able to convey what you actually mean to the song is very important. So sincerity.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
To be able to talk to you and to be able to hear your stories and all of the things that you've learned really inspired me. And we're so grateful that you get to be one of our judges. And
I'm so excited.